So you're a bit of a shy player. Well, in today's video, we're going over how to communicate better in soccer. Hey, what's up guys? Dave here from SimplySoccer, where we're helping you to improve your game and stand out on the pitch. And on this channel, we release daily soccer tips, technique, and training videos. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you're notified whenever we do videos or live streams. Communication in soccer is so important at any level in the sport. It's so important that, in fact, I've seen players of lesser skill get into teams of more skill because they have better communication skills. Coaches want to have leaders out on the pitch that can organize the team and communicate with their teammates so that everyone knows what they should be doing. So it goes without saying that becoming a better communicator on the pitch increases your chances of actually getting on the pitch and getting playing time. Now, before I get into a little more detail about it, let me quickly go over the difference between proper communication and players who just scream and yell and talk a lot. Being loud, shouting at teammates, talking a lot, just talking for the sake of talking is not good communication at all. In fact, it's this type of communication that actually probably has a negative effect on your team instead of a positive one. So first and foremost, just understand that you're not communicating for the sake of communicating or yelling for the sake of yelling. You want to be communicating properly and in a way that's going to help your team. So exactly what should you be communicating to your teammates? Well, in my eyes, as much as possible. I really truly believe there should be very few moments in a match where it's silent. There should always be constant communication going on so everyone knows where they stand, where everyone is, and what they should be doing. The more aware your teammates are of what's going on around them or what they need to be doing, the better, because sometimes we just forget what it is we need to do in a certain situation, or we don't know that there's a man behind us, or we don't know that we can turn into space. But our teammates communicating to us makes this whole process much easier, which helps the team perform better. So for example, if you see your teammate getting closed down when they're about to receive the ball, yell to them, "Man on." If the same situation's occurring except no man's on them and they have space to turn into, tell them to turn, because if they haven't looked, they don't know, and they could end up making the wrong decision because they're not aware of what's going on behind them. That's just a couple of examples of communication, but communication is essentially used to get a message across to your team in real time. Because going into a game, you have your tactics and your plays and things that your coaches want you to do, but soccer's unique in the fact that everything's really done in real time. Meaning if you're going to adjust your tactics, you have to do it during the game. If you're going to do something, you have to do it during the game. You don't get to stop, think of what play you're going to do, unless it's a set piece, and then do it. You have to constantly be thinking, in this situation, what do I need to do? And sometimes it really helps to tell your teammate to make that run, or tell them to get back into position, or to cover for a teammate who's out of position, or to turn, or to say man on, or to pass it, or to make them aware that you're available for the ball, or that another teammate's available for the ball. Now, the example I gave you with the man on and the turn example, where I said if there's a man on, tell them, or if they can turn into space, tell them, are just two very simple examples, but I rarely see players doing it. It's so simple to tell your teammate man on, which allows them to think, okay, I can't turn, I should probably make sure I protect the ball and retain it and play it back. Or saying to them, turn, which allows them to know, okay, if I can effectively turn here, I can exploit the space behind me. Two very simple forms of communication, but I rarely hear players actually saying it. Help your teammates out. You're on the same team with the same purpose, to win the game. So do everything you can for each other in order to help each other out. Now, another great way to communicate with your teammates is to encourage and to compliment them. Encourage them if they've made a mistake, because a lot of players, the fact of the matter is, get down on themselves when they make a mistake. So if your teammate perhaps missed a chance, you can just tell them, don't worry about it, get the next one. It doesn't do them any good for you to scream at them and say, how could you miss that? Or something like that. That doesn't serve you. That's a terrible strategy. Also with complimenting players as well. No matter what anyone tells you, everyone loves to know that they've done a good job or to be complimented. By telling your teammate that was a great pass in real time, like just saying great pass, whatever their name is, or great tackle, or just, a great job getting back and working hard. This encourages them to do it more in the future. And I've had teammates like this, and I actually know I respond well to this, but I've had teammates like this who respond very well to that compliments when they do something well. And I know I would as well if I play a good pass and a teammate would say, "Good pass, Dave," or if I made a good tackle or I worked hard. Now again, there are times when you make mistakes where a coach is going to need to take you aside outside of the game and tell you where you made your mistakes. But in the game, you want to boost your players' confidence. You want to encourage them to do well. You don't want to put them down. So you need to let your ego go aside. You don't yell at them unless that's something that actually does help them. You need to be encouraging them and complimenting them. Now that being said, don't force it. Don't force encouragement and don't force compliments. Meaning if they do something pretty poor or something that's pretty typical, like a pretty straightforward pass, don't compliment them for that. Just because it's going to get the wrong message across. Don't encourage them if it's not right to be encouraging them in that moment. You have to learn which situations call for it, and you never want to be fake about it. You want it to be a genuine compliment, like you actually were very pleased with the ball they played, or the shot that they took, or the move that they did. When it comes to encouragement, it has to be real as well. So no fake stuff here. Communicating properly also comes from a place of authenticity. If you're lying, people are going to be able to tell. So make sure you're not like giving out false compliments or anything like that. Essentially, the lesson is there is always something you can be communicating to your team, and you should be looking to communicate with your team often in order to help each other out as much as you can in the match. Again, whether that's calling for the ball because you're open, saying man on, saying turn, encouraging a teammate, complimenting a teammate, allowing your teammate to know that they need to get back and cover, telling your teammate you need to get back and get into that space because someone's out of position. Whatever it is, communication is so important. And guess what? If you start becoming a player that's communicating on the pitch, you will stand out, because I don't know if you've noticed this, but very few players communicate properly or communicate at all in matches. And if you're a bit shy, don't worry about it. Just take small baby steps. Just try and communicate more and more each time. The way I like to think about it is I'm not necessarily the most extroverted person outside of soccer, but when I get on the pitch, I become a completely different person who communicates, who says, you know what, we're trying to win this game. I got to put my shyness, if I have it, or my ego aside, and just do whatever I can to win this game. And I know communicating will help with that. So question of the day is, are you an effective communicator? And if not, what is holding you back from being a great communicator? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you share this video, as I really think this is an important idea. So share it with your friends and teammates. Make sure you like it and that you also subscribe if you're new. I will have 2 videos come across the screen here for you to watch even more. And we will have another video tomorrow at 5 p.m. So come back for that. Remember, this is Simply Soccer, where we're helping you to improve your game and stand out on the pitch. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.